So I'm going to be playing around with the settings on the stream. So if it starts to look bad, let me know. I know that last one probably did look pretty bad. It looks like it's buffering pretty bad right now. Now, I was playing with these settings earlier and testing, and it was working just fine. So it's interesting that it's gotten a little laggy now. Let's try this setting, see if that cleans it up. Hey Vivek, thanks for popping by. How's work today? I'm just trying to work on stream settings while doing a little bit of account maintenance. Doesn't really help to split your focus, but it'll be okay. So this shootout in this direction is max plus 20% on the sniper. We're going to use 0.5 back, 2 left. We're mainly looking for a spot right before we set our spins. So here's our max, and we're going to go over until that clips short. So right there. 14.7 rings is what we're going to need. 2 left. I'm going to give it a little bit more back just because of the higher wind. And we're going to go 14.7 rings. So there's 10. 4.7. And I'm going to give almost outer ring left curl. Hitting great. Risk us not getting where we want to be. See, we're coming in a little hot there. but enough for the win. Perfect probably would have dropped that. Alright, thanks for letting me know, Vivek. I'm still going to play with these settings a little bit. The weekend is a holiday for you. And Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, still showing my stream health is poor. So let's reduce my bit rate. Let's see if that helps it a little bit. One frame per 5 seconds lag. It's quite a bit. Yeah, I'm getting poor stream health now. Hey Aaron, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for the good luck. Just playing with some settings here. Let's see how these settings work. Yeah, what I really need to do is probably get a new computer and up my internet speeds. Alright, so on this drive, I like to set up from down here with the red touching the rough and do plus 10%. $7.8. The only problem with this drive is me having the sniper in, because the sniper can leave me not able to get to the green if I have a headwind. Still showing a little lag, but it looks like it's moving a little better now. Is it looking any better for you, Vivek? It's better now? Okay. Yeah, I've been testing using OBS Studio instead of Streamlabs, and it's been a bit more resource intensive on my laptop. So we got 10, 15.3, and I'm going to need about a 3-ring push-up. We'll go ahead and make it 4. I did not go for the funnel. I'm looking just to get the second bounce right there and roll out. I'm watching OBS just completely peg my CPU and GPU. I mean, I could lower it a little bit by cutting the music, but it still hurt. It's a nice shot by our opponent. Nice rollout. So let's do our EB roll. There is a little funnel here that you can tend to use. It's over to this side, as you can see, but I'm not going to worry about it. So what are we looking at? About 40% club. We got 10-0, so 4.6 rings. This does tend to drift a little to the left, but we got pushed to the right, so we're okay. I know I over-adjusted that. So now we're going to go into the shootout. I have T-Dog shootout notes up. We'll follow along with those to see how well they play, and so that I can make notes on the shots. You can find these notes online on his channel, or if you have trouble finding them, send me an email. My email is in the channel description, and I will forward you these notes. So here we are on this one. We're going to be setting up at the +9 with the blue ring on the rough and the tip of the ball guide on the green row to the left. After we add our 2 right spin. Then we're going to adjust max +20 with no top or back spin and almost inner wall right curl. And this is 2 light green squares. Thanks for subbing. I believe that said Miles. So you can see our opponent took pretty much the same shot. I wasn't looking at the time to see if he curled it. Alright, so 2 right spin, no top or back. Blue ring at the +9 at the rough, the middle, 2 light green squares. This is max +20, so 14.3 is going to be 17.5. There's 10. There's 7.5. And we're not going to overpower. And almost entering right curl. We hit great right. Not really the best, but we should be okay. We run a little long, we'll lose it. If we hadn't hit great right, we would have come in a lot slower, and we would have been closer to the hole than the opponent. It's gone poor again. Tough to lose by 0.33. Yeah. I'm gonna have to assume at this point it's mostly my computer. Could also be my internet speeds. I do have my kid playing Minecraft in the other room. He's probably watching TV as well. You're not having any issues, Aaron? Yeah, right now it's saying it's got a good strength and connection. But I do see a little bit of a lag in the replay. No, I can't. Hey, Mark. Thanks for the Happy New Year. I'm using the notes that I sent to you. So what kind of question, Mark, did you have? And we'll see if we can settle it on this. Or I can still give you a call. So this is Ascendant Wind, but I'm gonna lay it up. .7. I can hit perfect. Your Iceman account didn't make it with a -10. Right. Run the rough there. I didn't play the mini. As you all know, I try to keep it from forcing me up into tier 3 because I only play the Masters in the mini. Oh, 11th place, first loser. Those are always the hardest. When you know you're just right there, or if it's by tiebreaker, not really score. That's the risk with the Send It. Alright, so let's take a look. I am going to play the bump. So we're looking at about 45% on that bump. And normally it's played at plus 10, so we're going to play it at minus 20. So we're going to need 2.8 rings. Yeah, 2.8 rings. We're just going to have to go 3 and hit it. I know that Nirvana can reach it, but for some reason I couldn't get it in the cup. Well, hopefully you didn't use too many balls, Mark. And the mini, again, not making it will help keep you in the lower tier. Yeah, that happens. So if you look at this account, for example, I don't play a ton, of course. He's also probably trophy dumping, if he's only got 168 mark. So back in the older algorithm matchups with Golf Clash, it took trophy level into account and not as much max trophy reached. So what people would do is they would open up their tour and then they would start dumping and losing the lower tours. That kept them playing only people closer to the beginner level or lower. Correct. Tournament matches do not count towards your games played anymore. They used to, but now they don't. So if you look at this account, for example, it's got 2,385 games. That doesn't include tournaments. And some of my other accounts have even less of games. I don't believe I started this one before the tiers, because that's when it switched. When you stopped playing for cash for each hole, that's when it stopped counting. So I do have a couple banners before tours. So those before the tiers would have counted towards the total games. But now it doesn't. So now whenever you see total games, it's not. So if you see somebody with 2,000 games under the belt and only 168 trophies, odds are they dumped. And what they're hoping to do when they dump that is, for example, if I was to dump all of these Tour 10, lose those 900 trophies, then I'm going to be playing against people like me who just opened up Tour 11 for quite a while until Tour 11's almost maxed. Yeah, I usually keep Master, but lately I haven't been grinding as much, so a lot of mine have been relegated. As you can see, this one's only Expert 3 because I let it get relegated. I let another one of mine get relegated one too many times. But yes, trophy dumping was very common. I don't think it matters as much anymore I think now they also take into account the maximum number of trophies you had at one point. So that way you can't dump down to 100 and something trophies, go play Tour 8, and be playing against people who just opened Tour 8. Let's see if I got a proper bag here. Okay. This hole's pretty tough in headwind. Oh, that's not going to help. Hey, Anthony, thanks for the Happy New Year. Happy New Year to 2. Yeah. So we're not going to make the green in 2. I have, my main account is getting close to maxing Tour 11. I was testing some stuff in Tour 11 in this earlier, so I dropped about 4 just playing around. But I've got enough coins that it doesn't really matter. This is one of my lower coined accounts with only about a $500 million. My main has almost 2. My secondary account has $1 billion. And that's without really grinding. My low-end baby accounts, they only have a couple $100 million, and I really don't play them a lot. I should. Well, it looks like our opponent is going to get to the green in 2. So we're just going to have to set up for a Nirvana, or for a Thorn. Yeah, Vivek, the most I really invest is in time, which time is money. But I don't really invest much. I think I spent maybe $13 this week across my accounts, and that's because of golden shots. Quite a few of my accounts had gotten below my 15 minimum on Zerks before a tournament. But I do invest a lot of time. So we're looking at about 20% club. So we need 5.6 rings. I spent too much time playing there, so I need to hurry. There we go. 15% on that, in case any of you ever get in trouble on this. Nice. 22 APOC cards. That's true, Vivek. League of Legends and a lot of those other esport games, you do, win money. And there are some others where you get the actual money back But if you started paying out money in this, for example, it would definitely become a pay to win, because people would be reinvesting the money they won back into it, and your lower players would definitely have to increase what they paid into it in order to. Now, it would be cool if they had a money prize tournament. You know, like a best of the best type situation. So we got max plus 20%. $11.3. It's going to be 8.1. I know I needed top on this, but I didn't look real quick to see what top I needed. So I'm just going to shoot it. I believe it's a half a top and 2 left, which I did not use. So we're shortened to the right. .8 top, 0.8 left. So our opponent will probably play that. He's set up a little left. He's using 1 top, 1.2 top, so he's probably going to go long. Well, that happens all the time to me, Mark. The only one that I've ever consistently gotten APOC cards is the smallest account that I have, or the next smallest account. That account got lucky and got APOC cards all the time. Okay, we'll get a win there. Dunk a par 3 and Masters to win money. I mean, they could really have some kind of contest to up that type of thing. You know, like when they had their race to max out Tour 13. If they had given a money prize to the first to max Tour 13, could you imagine the grinding and the spending and the pure competition you would have had? Alright, so we've got this filled. Let's make sure I've done my prism on this account. Nope, I have not. So I'm going to go ahead and do the prism. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch accounts. Hide my game screen. Have I ever seen who the #1 player in the Champion 100? I have not specifically looked to see who was listed as #1. Microberg, so that would be Ankit, which would make sense. I mean, he has all of those accounts, but you know, they're always finishing top. And if you ever look at the stats on those accounts, you'll see why he's the best player in the game. I mean, you've seen his people complain about or post pictures of his Piccolo Berg account, and I don't know where the top 100 is listed. Shows how much I've looked at it. Is it in the news hub? I need to play some matches on this one. Alright, so I do not know where it's listed. Oh, clans and then rankings. No, that's just the clans themselves. The view all here. It's just a list of the top 100. I couldn't imagine putting in 53,000 CP. Oh, it doesn't show who the #1 player. I know they used to have it somewhere. So this is my next to youngest account. As you can see, Mark, it shows only 844 games. But if you look at my trophies, my banners, they're all post tiers. So none of the tournament accounts count. 220,000 clan point in 31 days. I mean, I know Masters wins pays out a lot, but to put up that kind of CP, that's hard to believe. Alright, let's get our bag set here. As you can see, this account has gotten extremely lucky with the Apocalypse. That's the only epic that it's gotten a ton of. I've gotten the cat up to 5, which is important, and I just got the Endbringer to 5. So I've been fairly lucky on my epics on this account. As you can see, I have played some Tour 11. Now, I've only played it a little bit because I followed to the 10x rule. You'd have to. Or account sharing, Vivek. You know, if you have multiple people taking turns grinding out on the same account, but you have to win Masters. I mean, I don't see how you could not win Masters and still get that. When I was playing the other day, I pointed out that the wins were jacked up, and I said, you know, that means there's going to be a win ball. So it was no surprise that this week's ball was a win ball. Clear that. Get through. Here we go. Opponent apparently doesn't like that I got through with that. So this is clearly a trophy dumper as well. Because if you look, he has 1,395, but is playing T11. Oh yeah, I forgot about the extras from the T's and Whole Explosion. I always forget that you can do those. I mean, we don't really try to make a push, so I haven't really thought about it. So we're looking right here, hoping for a rollout. Let's see if this is headwind or not. It's almost a solid cross. So we should roll out, and we'll have a short wedge. Yeah, I should go back and play the T explosions that have the coins and the trophies and the other stuff, but I always forget about them. The sense of entitlement, as in the C100s, or towards what? Yeah, I know you can get a mixed bag with the social media communities. I don't really get on there much. I post to our Facebook group. Not really even on the regular, but just some of our basic stuff. I try to put some guide and information out there, but so 80%. We got 13.4. So we need 12.1 rings. So there's 10. 11, 12.1. We do hit perfect, so hopefully we did everything right. Oh, we missed. Oh, towards C100 and getting the highest clan points. Yeah, I think most of Ankits is the Catalyst and the groups like that. I agree. Our opponent didn't want a rematch for somebody who was thinking they're so much better. He just puts up incredible numbers and continuously puts those up. So, I mean, you don't see much. I'd love to see him play. Just to watch. I mean, he has to be like the most consistent player. I mean, I couldn't imagine consistently hitting all of those perfects. Oops. I didn't think I'd clear with that. I just should have measured it. I mean, we'll reach. Not a problem. I don't know who the number 3 is. I'd say you have to be meticulous. He has to also be fast at adjusting. I know he kind of approaches coming up with his shots in the same way I have, because he takes one hole at a time through all of his accounts. Now, does he make the notes that Catalyst uses? I'm assuming he's the guy coming up with most of their shots. I'm assuming all the Bergs are his accounts. Or at least I would assume all the Bergs are his accounts. Now, the top 100, is that based on just how you finish in the Masters tournament, basically? Over the past so many tournaments? I've never even paid attention to it. Alright, so we got a 20%. This one does have a no movement. Not sure if the wind direction we have. No. Yeah, we have the no movement. So men plus 15%. And from the direction, we got 3 back, 0.5 left. $13.4 is going to be 8.2. I have accidentally pulled this, of course, max or mid. And sometimes you don't get as good a roll, but generally you're decently close. Yeah, so see, I would never get close to ranking. I'm not that good anyway. At least I never feel I'm that good. I feel that I'm a decent expert tier 2 player. And that's where I fit in. That's my niche. And if I can help other people be a little bit better and enjoy themselves more, I'm assuming Neo sometimes uses his notes for tournaments. I don't know. I don't think Neo's really said. I mean, he could use Neo's. I've watched Neo shoot live, and he kind of goes through figuring out the shot. So Neo does make his own notes. Yeah, see, I didn't know. I've never paid attention. So I learned something new. I knew he made guides, but I didn't know if he was using like the notes or stuff that Catalyst as a whole worked out. Because I know they all worked together on shots. And they make great shots. I mean, they all play extremely well. And even if you don't, even if he didn't, he's still a great player. Consistent, adjust, plays. Anybody who makes content in any way, it's a lot of work. There's some wins in this hole that are just hard to adjust for, and this is one of them. Yeah, the tokens is one of the things I struggle with the most. Having enough tokens. I kind of have to choose my shot and stick with it. I can't work through a ton of different shots because most of my accounts are under 20 and I got to go through the entire tournament with that. Yeah, I'm definitely not in a league with any of those guys and a lot of the content creators. I'm just trying to, hold my own and help other people enjoy the game. Well, I know I could be more entertaining as far as streams go. I want to actually start, making a little more like tutorial type stuff. Helping people learn sliders, slicing and hooking, stuff like that. But usually when you go to do that, it's hard to show that playing in tour play and tournament play. I kind of need to do friendly matches, and I gotta have somebody to play against, so that way we can show adjusting and not worrying about timeout. We can time out, show counting rings and stuff like that for the sliders. Show how elevations, affect secondary wind push effects. So what I really need to do is find someone else or another streamer to kind of partner with to make those videos. Because there's lots of stuff out there about the beginner adjustments and the beginner notes. It's kind of missing. Alright, so we have a tailwind. This is a very technical shot. So we got our spot here. This is going to be max plus 25. And then we're going to push up. So 11.7 is going to be 15 rings. You need every bit of this instruction. And I think I'm in the wrong one, but let's see if I got 9 rings. I need to overpower about a ring. So 4.3 back, 2 left. No curl. So it's a little more cross. So I needed to lower the back a little bit. But you notice we were in line. And thanks a lot, Vivek. That's what I, try to do with these. It's just to share what I know and help people learn. Because if it becomes, just the top people winning over and over again, and nobody else really having a shot, games kind of fade and die and get boring. And there's a lot of people out there that want to help people learn. Thanks, Vivek. Yeah, had I pulled off about a half back, I probably would have rolled up a lot closer. Oh, looks like we maybe had on that. Yeah. Got us by about a yard. that was definitely in line. Just a little too much back. You know, is the wind direction on this, and the notes are specifically for a more tailwind push, which we did not have. Let's see if we can clear this. Worst case, we lose another one. Could have went with some more overpower, but we did clear through. I didn't go max overpower because I know max overpower and a tailwind will clip the rough and you'll get stuck in the rough. Right, Vivek, if I had less backspin, it would have come out a little more to the right. But on that one, on that shootout, if you can get within a yard or so, you know, the hole-in-one is nice, but your goal is to get within a yard or 2 yards. Interesting. So we're going to have to try to rough bump this. There is a funnel here. I think this plays at 10%. And we're at 82% club. So we need 10.9. So we need just a touch of OP. And let's see how this rolls in. There's a short glitch roll, which looks as what we caught. But we wouldn't have been able to go over due to the wind direction. And the rough bump's really the only way we can go. Opponent very lucky to have a topspin boost ball equipped. He still would have cleared probably for a short wedge, but this gives him a chance now to get on the green. Oof, almost got through there. Maybe they can hit the funnel with their Nirvana. Yeah. Needed that top spin if he wanted to get through that. But now with that top spin and an off-roader 7, but you notice that glitch spot. See how he just barely pulls back and how much that guide shortens? You think the putt is too easy on Golf Flash? It is pretty easy, unless you're, of course, some of those unmakeable. Like the last full tournament, there was that one unmakeable putt on hole 1. at least in Ultimate Golf. You know, I haven't had too much trouble with the putting, but there is, every putt is makeable. So that's always nice, you know, to know that if you get on the green, you have a really good chance at making the putt. So this account will be my runner probably for the next tournament because it has tokens. And I think it's my only account with more than 20. So that's why I gotta make sure it stays an expert. I didn't play this one in the last tournament just because it was tier 3 and I chose to only play 4 accounts to save time. Alright, so last time we laid up. This time we're gonna blast it. Let's see if we get... Nope, we're gonna clear and go through to the back rough. That's all a matter of whether or not you can get lucky enough to catch that rough to roll out. So if this was a tournament and I was working out this hole, my next shot would use 4 top and we would see where that landed. And I'd probably even switch to a berserker for my last practice shot and try it without overpower, because you can control the landing spot a little more if you're not overpowering it. Let's get our Nirvana out. 30%. You see our opponent still clipped the rough, still ran through. But they're a little closer than we are. So we're looking at about 15% club. So they're probably looking at about 10. 1 ring of adjustment. Usually isn't much from this side. We hit great. Good chance we miss. Yeah. Perfect would have dropped. So if our opponent hits perfect, they'll get their win. They're also going to stretch out. And they'll probably use the, they're going to aim straight at the pin. About 5%. I'd probably move over just a tad. Now, does anyone in the chat use the overpower for a couple second approach to help them hit perfect? I find that I never really have the time to do that. Maybe if I can become a little faster at setting out. Here's hoping. You never know with people who have quasars. Alright, so we got a headwind. So we need to set up over here. The red kind of touching both bunkers. So right there. 14.4. And we need men plus 15%. And we need 4.1 back, 0.2 left. And we're going to do 8.9. Men. I have accidentally adjusted the higher mounts. We were running in line, but we came up short. Don't think I underpowered. We landed about a ring further back from our aim spot. So we left him a ton of room. And because he's using a navigator, he gets the same wind as us. Yeah, he's got it. About a 3 yard. We're just running 50% here in T11. At least we're not getting destroyed. You know, our losses have been, you know, not horrid. This ugly hole again. Of course, I don't have a bag with a cat in it. I played this guy earlier, this exact same hole, with a different account. He pulled out a special ball. The red ball. The power 4 wind 4. So if he pulls out the power 4 wind 4 and drives over, oh, come on. Can't believe that trickled in there. So it is a different play by him, but it's still a special ball. I don't think backspin boost is the best choice. Oh, there we go. Power 5 wind 5. That's a lot of underpower. Yeah, I was surprised it went into the rough too. I thought I was set up short enough. It's okay, we'll just shoot down here into thorn territory. Looks like we got a little bit of a funnel there. Can I curl on the shot? Yes, I could have curled that a little more. I was hoping to use the left side, which is why I didn't curl on the shot. In the past, I've also used the right side and kind of hooked it over to the green. But I was trying to stay a little more left mark to go down the left side. All right, Mark. Have a good one. So there's 10, 15, 25. I believe that is 50% club. $7.8 is going to be 3.9. Hitting great doesn't help. It was slight, but that was a relatively bouncy landing spot. All right, Vivek. Good luck. You have a great day too. Enjoy your vacation day. Not sure I can send it in this strength of the wind, but let's give it a shot. Worst case, we just lose a little coins. Nope, looks like we're getting wet. Didn't think 9 was strong enough. So we landed about between the two shadows. In order to get over, you need to land more in the flat area because that downslope throws you forward and down. And of course the next win is a crosswind, so we don't have any chance of throwing it down there and, you know, going for the albatross on the next one. At least it's a relatively small headwind. So the drive there, 10% club. I usually use 2 right, max top, or well, 6.9 top. You know, could get in trouble with max top with a APOC 7. 10%, and I set the red ring at the tip of the rough there, ball guide down the center of the fairway. Now the cat is the better club to have equipped for the second shot, because if you don't have it and you get a headwind, you can get in trouble. You can always lay up on the second shot with the sniper. Should really make a bag with the cat in it if I'm going to be playing T11. Seriously? There's a funnel over here somewhere. I'm not far enough down to test it. This is a 20% adjustment. Instead of overpowering, I'm going to adjust the 17.7 and push the max. I should get a first bounce pretty close to the fringe or to the rough, and then roll out. We just cleared it. Probably because of the grate, because I would have landed a little more right. But we weren't going to win it anyway. with this account. If I don't get this wind here or a couple wind in a row, I may have to drop back down to T10. You know, right now I am below my standard 10x for playing a tour. Let's pull this back. Let's give ourselves room to adjust and know if we really need to overpower. So it looks like we need at least 2. Just gonna go ahead and go max. We should have had room for slight great left. Now the second shot doesn't always reach. We're going to be looking to try to bounce over that bunker and get fairly close to the fringe. Odds are we're going to have a headwind or a crosswind. We usually set up that's about mid club. And I believe it's 15%. Anytime you can't go to the left side, it's a little harder. You can also go to the right side of the trees, but you risk getting caught up if you don't fully clear. So you can go over here, but those branches do block. So what I usually do is go for this area here and try to run up. So I need 14.5. Just gonna go 14. I'm gonna add some curl. And I had baby overpower and great. 2 mistakes on the same shot. Now you can hook this. I haven't done it in a long time. You know, go or not hook, slice from the right side. Let's go ahead and get our Nirvana ready. Minus 30%. See if we can get the split here. Our opponent got the shot we were looking to get. They didn't overpower. They didn't hit great. They were still awfully close to the edge. So we're at about 40%. We'll say 38. 13.1 crosswind, so 2.6. Glitch roll there. I'm going to push it up a little, give it some back and some right. We do get a perfect, so hopefully we adjusted properly. that would be came in on the left side. I know I wasn't close to 35%. And we were a lot further than 0.2 difference. Opponents playing the rapier method for how close they are. Great right with baby right curl. If they were further out, is dangerous. But they were right there. Normally, if you're going to use curl with the rapier, you want to counter curl to kind of hold it straight. Alright, so we're 634 million. Well, we'll definitely get promoted, which is the thing I had to worry about. Didn't want to risk getting demoted down to pro and not being able to play this. Go ahead and play some T10. And close this out. And once I fill bags, I'll go ahead and end the string. Take a break. And then I'll probably come back on a little later tonight to stream my ultimate golf tournaments. So you can try to reach for this and play this. I tend to lay it up. And I usually aim for that little dip there with the ball guide at the end of the dip. And this leaves a harder second shot. And that's max plus 0 that I adjust. You can also use a rock or a Thor's hammer to play that shot. But the main thing is if you don't clear and you end up in the sand, you have no shot at the green. And if your opponent tries to and doesn't clear, then you get pretty much a free shot at trying to get there. And you can just play it up close, knowing that so there's a couple different ways you can play this. We got a tail. We can bounce off the rocks and get back on the green, or we can bump it. I'm going to bump, but I often bounce off the rocks as well. If I'm a little further back and it's a headwind or a crosswind, I will put max top on it and slam it off the wall. Because I have messed up this bump many a times before. But like I said, we pretty much have a somewhat free shot. I mean, if it wasn't for the tailwind, there's no reaching for them. Now they have a tailwind, so they can blast it and hope to get up there. But had that been crosswind or headwind, there's no chance. And they get lucky. Now, you see this glitchy guide spot? Anytime you see your guide do that, always push up and use a little bit of back. You don't want to get caught pulling up short because you just happen to hit that one spot of the glitchy guide. You can always pull back and stretch, but you can still hit that spot. So I always push up and use a little back. Just go over the glitchy spot. I haven't played Tour 10 a lot. I do have some notes. I haven't really looked at them and tested them. So I can't tell you how good they are, but I would assume they're pretty good. So this one, for example, they're showing max plus 30. I think I normally used 40. Oh, there is a 40 here at the top. And I usually come in more from the side, but this works too. So let's test this one. So here would be max plus 30, 3.5 top, 0.5 left. So there's our spot. We got 12-1. We're gonna go 0.5 left, 3.5 top. Let's use 2 top. This is more side spin. And max plus 30 is gonna be 16.1 rings. So there's 10. 6.1. We do get a perfect off, so let's see how this rolls. Good first bounce, second bounce is further right, but good length. So had we done 40%, we would have been closer to where I normally play it. But it's still good enough for a win on a fairly tough. Now you will see this hole in the tournament. Depending on the wind, a lot of people try to play the funnel, which is to the right side of the bunker, using the same 40 to 50% with left spin. Okay, the way I usually set this up is max top, max right, red ring by the bunker, with the ball guide just going into the rough. I'll do max plus 10%, 6.4. And I'm going to use about a ball right curl. And that's usually safe in pretty much any wind. I use a little less curl, about 3/4 curl, and left to right wind. And you can push up a little further and use, say, at the +0 or second bounce at the rough if you really want to push getting closer down. But I generally don't, because you can still usually reach with a sniper for the second shot. Second shot is played 10%. We need it to be a little longer, so we're going to have to use overpower. And we're going to have to use top. So that looks like about 3 rings overpower. We need 8 rings of adjustment. So we're going to need to max overpower this. I'm going to throw a little bit more top on it, just in case we clip the rough. I thought we would clear that. Interestingly, our opponent just happened to have the right club. Not the right club for some of the shootouts in T10, but for this hole. And it's generally not the right club for this hole. So 35%. We were already there. 1.2 rings. Check for the glitchy spot. I'm going to push up and use them back. There we go. Do just a little more than... There we go, 1.3. Rush the shot. We had a good speed, perfect drop. It's funny how you always get that one account when you play daily. So like a lot of my accounts earlier, no trouble getting the 4 wins. But then you get that one account that just seems to go back and forth. The nice thing about having multiple accounts is being able to switch that. So in this wind, we're going to be in trouble with this ball. Max overpower. Hopefully we clip and roll out. There we go. So the drive is plus 10%. You can use a P4, P5 ball, or a lower wind resistant ball. As you can see, with the lower wind resistance, our opponent was able to clear, no issue. There's 1 ring of overpower, 2 rings of overpower. We'll give it 3. If you get up further like our opponent did, you can do the ref bump instead of the bounce over. I usually start the rough butt adjustment at minus 5%. It does not look like they got far enough up. They need another 3 or 4. Great lefts are always a risk at the bounce over shot if you're playing close to that fringe with less side spin. Alright, let's go to our shootout. So this one I normally play at 15%. So we're looking at 12.2. Good speed, just a little left. Adjusting uphill, we didn't adjust enough. I tried to counteract that with a little left curl. You can do the rough bump here, and what they were showing on this was the rough bump. So they show the left side of the yellow at the rough, the white right side at the rough just on the other side of the bunker, and then after you adjust, max plus 10, push up 1 ring. But that's our bags filled, and both counts out safe from relegation. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys later.